DC vs. Marvel was trending today. Who wins? The fans do. And the studios. Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flix Show. My name is Chris Wong. We got the first look at James Gunn's The Peacemaker. The 8-episode series premieres in January 2022 on HBO Max. And there it is. That's it. But since we're talking about James Gunn, apparently an embargo lifted on the James Gunn's The Suicide Squad set visit, and all these bloggers are talking about the Suicide Squad. There's one question though. James Gunn's on Marvel's side. What's he doing at DC? Well, here's what happened. Producer Peter Safran said this: I think the joke at Marvel's expense is the fact that we got James Gunn. So that's the biggest joke. He got fired on a Friday in July, and on a Tuesday, Toby Emmer came to me and said, tell James Gunn that whatever he wants to do at Warner Brothers, we want him for it. Just tell us what he wants to do. So it was 2 days later. So internal discussions were incredibly easy. It just felt like James did not merit the treatment that he got, and ultimately, Disney felt the same way and reversed their decision. But it was immediate. Wow, Toby really jumped right at it. Oh, we got a Marvel director? Get him now! Get him! James Gunn also added to the story. Basically, DC came and said, hey, what do you want to do? Anything? And at first, I really honestly didn't think it was going to be Suicide Squad. I was playing with a few different ideas of a few different DC properties, and this was the one that just took off. I just fell in love with this particular story that we're telling right now, and I fell in love with some of the characters and the way we could do it. It's not a superhero movie. Obviously, it's a supervillain film, but to be able to tell a movie like this in a completely different way, and in a lot of ways, when I came in to do Guardians and being able to do a space opera in a totally different way, this is my way to do a war film in a completely different way. And obviously, James Gunn thinks that this movie is going to be something really special, and I hope it is. He's also saying that don't expect a real Guardians of the Galaxy, but in DC, it's going to be something bloody, it's going to be violent, it's going to be rated R. What about this whole thing about taking a competitor director over to this other side? Peter Safran had this to say: the truth is, everybody loves Marvel and everybody loves DC. You guys have a lot more in common than the rest of the world at large, so you should all just embrace it. I think he's always supported it and been happy for the success of DC films when he was doing Marvel stuff, and I've heard Kevin Feige say the same stuff, and I've heard we all internally applaud and root for the success of the other guys. So for us, we were just thrilled that we could capitalize on Marvel's misstep. This was an opportunity. Otherwise, James was going to be tied up for the next couple years, and instead, we were able to grab him and put together this movie, which is in some ways the perfect James Gunn movie. His instincts were actually probably more R-rated than PG-13 anyway. So obviously, let's see what happens. Let's see if James Gunn can really pull out this caper and actually make an intriguing and great DC film. Or he's going to go back and do Guardians of the Galaxy 3 anyway. So either way, James Gunn wins. And hopefully the fans do too. Here's another update from Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Bam! Back to work. This is our final week of production for the filming of Black Adam. Man, that is America's ass. Back. I can't thank you guys enough for all your support. Grateful, truly. Almost 2 years of hardcore, intense training, diet, character prep, and execution. You've been right there rocking with me all this time, and now it's my turn, and I hope to deliver the definitive anti-hero you deserve. The hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change. I know, we heard you already. It's about time. Final week of production, Man in Black, Black Adam. Speaking of Black Adam, Sarah Shahi actually talked a little bit about her character. I play a character named Adrianna Tomaz, which is, ISIS, Black Adam's wife. And she is a freedom fighter who is leading this massive resistance against an evil and malicious group called Intergang. What? Intergang? Where have I heard that before? Google it! Intergang is an organized crime group appearing in American comic books published by DC Comics, armed with technology supplied by the villainous New Gods of the planet Apokolips? What? New Gods? Apokolips? Holy smokes! Not to mention, when you read all that, it actually says that at one point in time, Darkseid was the leader, Lex Luthor was the leader, Morgan Edge from Superman and Lois was one of the agents? What? He's really trying to blow up DC here. Now, with this connected to the New Gods for Zack Snyder's Justice League, it's kind of funny because this is about Adrianna Tomaz and Black Adam, but I'm more intrigued by the New Gods concept here. That'd be pretty insane if we get to see at least a little bit about Darkseid. Maybe the guns have the Omega symbol on it or something. What? It's probably things that are mentioned in passing, but I still like the connection anyway, and hopefully it actually amounts to something. Now here's an exclusive from the Illuminerdi in regards to Batgirl. Remember Batgirl? Batgirl is a movie that's being directed by the Bad Boys for Life guys and written by Christina Hodson. I was hoping it would actually go to theaters, but it's going straight to HBO Max, but I'm still curious about which universe this is going to be in and which Batgirl is this going to be. The Illuminati can exclusively reveal 3 of the characters Batgirl is casting, including the film's villain. And here they are. Batgirl is looking to cast an actress in her early 20s to play the lead, Barbara Gordon, aka Batgirl. Okay, so it's really a Batgirl, not a Batwoman. They're also looking to cast an actor in his 50s to play Commissioner Gordon, Batgirl's father, and he is described as a strong supporting character in the film. Wait, hold on. What? They're recasting Commissioner Gordon? So this is not in Pattinson's universe? This is not even in Snyder's universe? Is it in Keaton's universe? Rest in peace, Pat Hingle. I'm sorry. But yeah, I mean, seriously, which universe is this going to be? So they're not going to keep J.K. Simmons or Jeffrey Wright? What's going on here? Perhaps most intriguing is the casting for the villain. Batgirl is looking for an actor in his 50s to 60s to play the villain, who is described as a disgruntled former firefighter. And at this point in time, Illuminerdi suggests that it could be Garfield Lynn, also known as Firefly. So the first villain for a Batgirl movie is going to be Firefly? Or maybe it's just one of the villains. Especially since he is one of the first villains that went up against, along with Killer Moth, in the Batgirl Year One comic miniseries. So there absolutely could be multiple villains in the Batgirl movie. But still, yet, I'm still wondering where this one is headed. Is it its own universe now? Is that why they're recasting Commissioner Gordon? Or maybe they're looking for a Pat Hingle lookalike so that it'll be in the Burtonverse. According to Vicky from the Geeks Worldwide and Omega Underground, this is what she had to say. Warner Brothers looking for an actor for Gordon doesn't necessarily mean he's getting recast. Sometimes roles that are filled still have casting calls. But why though? I have no clue. Casting directors are weird, and I think it's to indicate what the main roles are. Having him in his 50s kind of rules out J.K. Simmons because he's like 66. But Jeffrey Wright from the Pattinson universe is 55. Or are they recasting Commissioner Gordon for the Burtonverse? Guess very curious. I guess we're going to have to wait and see about that. Speaking of multiple DC characters, we're also wondering how many Supermans are there? Are there going to be more than one Superman? Is Henry Cavill done? Is it going to be replaced by Black Superman? Well, this is what Charles Roven had to say about multiple characters. If you're going to go along with a filmmaker's vision, you have to allow for multiple visions. You can't have it any other way. Not everybody's going to think alike, and so I think if somebody brought them a cohesive vision, it's my understanding, and I could be wrong because I haven't read the script or whatever, but even the Flash thing that supposedly had multiple Batmans, it does have somewhat of a cohesive vision to the universe that's been created since Ezra Miller has been playing the Flash. And so they're not saying never to anything, and I like that. It's got to work. You know what I'm saying? It's got to work. You've got to be able to actually say, here's what I'm really going to deliver, and then it's got to work. Yeah, that's a really cool idea. I like that. Multiple Supermans, multiple Batmans. Each director gets their vision, except for David Ayer and Zack Snyder. Mr. Roven, I think you should talk to the other execs about that. How about Charles Roven for DC Films president? Though I'm still hopeful and optimistic that some Warner Brother execs may move on and other execs will come in and actually agree with Charles Roven's thought process there that there could be multiple versions of these characters and each filmmaker can have their own vision. But until then, Zack Snyder's moving on to his own sci-fi adventure project called Rebel Moon, and you can learn more about it right here. Alright, thank you so much for watching. Like I said, if you absolutely love this daily dose of entertainment news and content, please click the like button, hit the subscribe button, ring that notification bell, keep this hot dog light on, and I'll see you next time. Bye.